Here we go. This is a 1967 Gas 21 Volga, Russian car from the 60s. This was my first ever car. I bought it at age 18, which was 80 years ago. And I was going to restore it and drive it daily, and which I did. My dream was always to have a Chevy 55 or 56 Chevy 4-door hardtop. That's my favorite Chevrolet ever. So obviously I couldn't have it because there's no Chevys around, and ones that are around in Russia are out of my price range. So I got this, and I never regret it because this is my car. I built it and I'm continuing to build it. So originally it was equipped with a 4-cylinder engine. This also was a numbers matching car. It took me about 3 years of rolling restoration to put it back together, do the welding, paint it, redo the interior, rebuild the engine, rebuild suspension, and everything else. This is the V8 from the gas truck. The block is all aluminum. It has aluminum block, aluminum heads, aluminum pistons. So you could think this is light, but this is not. It actually is heavier than the small block Chevy, which is cast iron. I'll tell you why. Because the crank is extremely heavy. It's a cast iron crank, and the engine itself is a big block if you compare it to the American engines, because small block would look a lot smaller in here. Despite being a big block, it has a small block displacement of like 260 cubic inch, has 115 horse. So this engine is a mileage maker, but still you can use this low RPM torque for your benefit if you can put the highway main gears in on the car. For example, my main gear is a 455, so I'm looking for the 358 gears. Maybe sometime in the future I'll be able to put an automatic on it. That's my dream, but we'll see how it goes. When I was painting this car, well, I painted baby blue with white top. The whole roof with the pillars is white. It was originally light gray, the whole car. So later I put some white walls on it, trim rings, and like metallic blue steel wheels to sort of give it a little bit of a more very mild custom look, like this. You can see the interior of the Volga is very spacious, noting the size of the car. I mean, I've been inside of the 1959 Cadillac, and I didn't feel more like that the interior was more spacious or whatever. I mean, it's no match, of course, for the Volga, but I'm just giving you a glance that this car was built with practicality in mind. Styling of the dash of the interior, you can see, is more like early 50s American cars, with a transparent cover on the speedometer, which is a styling cue found on the 56 Ford and maybe earlier Fords. This car was pretty much well equipped. I mean, it had the radio, it has actually with manual memory of the channels, 3 channels, electric clock, cigarette lighter, heater, actually very good heater. And I mean, 55s had the sun visors, interior mirror as an option. This was all standard. Antenna was standard. So this is kind of alright. And also, what does it have? Obviously no power steering. Has a 3-on-a-3 manual only option. You see 3 pedals there. I also put the oil pressure gauge, which is a manual oil pressure gauge for clarity of readouts. But the instrument cluster had 4 instruments, as well as all American cars at the time. The amps, the gas, water, and oil pressure. Anyway, I hope you liked it, and basically feel free to ask any questions. Thank you.